In this video, I'm going to show you the best Robux character in the limited store here, and also including Ryuko, the permanent gem character, so you can know who you should buy if you should buy any at all. All of these tests have been without Celestial, and I haven't really tried to speedrun the dimensions, but in general, most of this will be pretty good for everyone, no matter how good you are. And in general, Robux characters are really good, however, gacha characters are better than most Robux characters, so really the only reason you would want a Robux character if you're pretty new, you don't have a gacha character, maybe you have a raid character at best, and yes, most Robux characters are better than the best raid character being Black Asta. So yeah, you could get Robux characters for mains as a dimension main, as a raid main. They are really good, otherwise gacha characters are better, and especially as assists, gacha characters are much better. Also make sure to subscribe because at 33,333 subscribers, I'm going to make a giveaway, 10,000 Robux in total. One person will get 5,000 worth of Robux in the game, so you in theory could get like Shadow Monarch, or you could get two of these Robux characters, and two people will get 2,500 Robux worth, so you can get like one Robux character. So in total 10,000 Robux, but 3 winners. To start off, we have the tier list in raids if you have really bad gear. So common cards, well, in general, cards without good substats, no pet, no accessory, no trait, no good assists. In general, this will be the tier list in that case. Odin is really good. He's about as good as a few gacha characters. He is really good. Same with Endeavor, though for me, Endeavor was not as good as gacha characters. Could be wrong though. Endeavor could be up here. Endeavor and Odin are really good. Though you can't get Endeavor, you can get Odin. Boros is really good and better in raids that have a barriers like the Divine Raid, because his dash is really inconsistent. You need to hit all 5 combos. Kaido and Yor are really good. Makima, Muichiro, and Tatsumaki are better than Asta without a pets, but they're not much better than Asta, and these 5 characters are better. So without a pet and without good gear, they're still better, so they are technically still worth to buy. Ichigo has dropped off so much, he doesn't have good damage. Aizen and Ryuko are basically as good as the best gem characters, permanent gem characters, so they are not worth to buy, though Ryuko is also a lot cheaper. And then we have the tier list for good gear. So I'm using a bit better cards, an okay accessory with no assist still, but still, like, I'm also using Kurumi pet. That's the big thing here, Kurumi pets, so you have a bit of good gear and good subsets and stuff like that. Now, I don't think any of these are as good as gacha characters when you're using better pets, especially with Kurumi, not Garo. Garo is a different thing. But yeah, with Kurumi pet, I don't think any of these characters are better than gacha characters. And here we also see Ichigo is basically as good as like Gojo. Gojo is not much worse than Ichigo, and Gojo is just really good with Kurumi, so that makes sense. These characters have yet to be proven to be very bad in raids. Muichiro is really good without a pet, but not really good with Kurumi or Garo pet, because he has such a spam move with his 4th ability that he can spam faster with a pet activation. Asta, Kaido are basically the same in damage. Yor is really good still. Boros and Odin, they're really close in damage this time. Boros is still beaten by Odin, so if you get any of them, Odin is better, and no matter what. And then Tatsumaki is actually really good with Kurumi pets, and then Makima and Endeavor are really good as well. Endeavor also is really good with Kurumi pet because his 4th ability, you can spam that a lot, get basically a permanent 50% damage buff, but you can't get Endeavor anyway. Makima is not much worse either way. And here, if we have the best gear without celestial traits, but in general best gear otherwise with Garo pets. Now, the reason why people say Makima is the best Roblox character, if you've ever asked anyone, then it's because of this. Even though there are 6 gacha characters, which we all know gacha characters are the best in the game, then Makima is still top 5, even though there are more than 5 gacha characters. She's probably 4th best, or maybe even the 3rd best character in the game, because she's just insanely good with Garo pets. She did get a buff where her 4th ability wind-up time is decreased, so that might contribute to it. Odin and Yor are also really good, they're just not as good as the gacha characters, just barely below. I have not tested Endeavor with Garu pets, or I haven't tested Endeavor in the same tests as all of the other ones because I don't have Endeavor. So I made a separate test comparing Makima and Endeavor, and Makima was about 15% better than Endeavor, which is almost the same as these two. So I'm not sure exactly where Endeavor will be, but around B or A tier, probably not better than Yor and Odin, but maybe better than Boros, definitely better than these characters. So I'm putting him A tier or B tier. That's just speculation though, I haven't tested him exactly. Then we also have Black Asta, which is the best raid character in the game, and you can see how good he actually is, better than half the Roblox characters here. Is really insane because, well, now also Ichigo's making a comeback. With Garu pets, he can spam a lot more. Tatsumaki also has really good spam with Kurumi, not as good spam with Garu, but still strong attacks with Garu pets. Kaido doesn't really help with Garu pets. Muichiro same. Like before, doesn't really help. You can't spam faster with Muichiro, even if you have a pet that makes you spam faster. And then this time, Aizen is much worse than Ryuko even. A lot of gem characters are better than these two. And then Power is even better than Muichiro, but in general, most gem characters, the only gem character that is better, permanent gem character than Muichiro, is Power. So I'm still putting him at E tier, but still, Muichiro with a pet is not that good. In general, Makima is really good with Garu pets. Odin, still very good. And then we got dimensions. Now, I only did one test for dimensions, and that is if you basically have the worst stuff in the game. So if you're starting out, this will be the list. If you're speedrunning and if you have really good gear, this will not be for dimensions, but this is a general overview if you don't have good stuff. Because if you don't have good stuff, then damage will be a problem, and characters with a lot of damage will be better than characters with a lot of movement. If you're speedrunning, it's kind of the opposite. You need a lot of movement that still has enough damage to one-shot enemies. But like, yeah, in general, with speedrunning, Ichigo is gonna be a lot better because Ichigo has very good dashes, but he has really bad damage. And same with Ryuko. Ryuko has okay dashes, okay movements, but her damage is really bad. So if you're speedrunning, if you have the best gear, the list will be different, but this is basically if you have really bad stuff, if you're trying to progress in dimensions. The reason why I did this is, first of all, I need to get the video out before the event is over. Second of all, if you are buying a Robux character, it's probably not gonna be a dimension character. It's probably going to be a character that's gonna help you in raids, or just a character that's really good for early game. So either you buy Makima, who is the best in late game, very good, or you buy someone that's gonna help you from start to finish, which probably will be Odin. More on that later. But here, the tier list is Yor is actually really good. That's probably because she has consistently like a move up. All the time she's gonna have a move up. She's really strong in raids, so she can kill bosses. She has good AoE, she can spam a lot, she could just have a move all the time and just kill every enemy. Odin is also good, just has pretty slow cooldown, so he doesn't have a move all the time and he can't kill enemies that quickly. Boros is just behind Odin, and he actually has a lot of dashes. The second ability is a good dash, and the third ability makes you able to spam the dash, so he has good movement. These three doesn't have any dashes, but they have really good damage and pretty good AoE, so you can clear it without any problems. You can see without the pets, the first tier list, yeah, these three were really good, and that's just the reason why they're good in this test and dimension is just because of the damage, because damage is more important than movements. We have Asta here with Tatsumaki right behind. Not much to say in general, but that's just how it is. Ichigo, like I said before, has really good movement, but his damage is horrible right now compared to the other characters. So he just can't keep up with this test. And then Aizen and Ryuko still, they're both worse than Gem Sunjin Woo. You'd better just use the Gem Sunjin Woo, so no reason to buy these. Then we have the assists, and Endeavor is a really good assist. 60-second cooldown with 18% attack and a lot of damage. A really good assist. Not quite gacha level, but really good. And then we have Tatsumaki, Michiro, Boros, and Odin. They are really good. Tatsumaki and Michiro gives critical damage, while Boros and Odin gives critical chance, but still pretty good. And then we have other characters. These are not the best for assists, but they are much better than assists that do not give any effects at all. So I'm putting Asta my maybe F or E tier. Doesn't really matter. Either way, these characters all give effects in some way, which is basically always better than if you don't give effects. So basically, Asta's assist, I believe, is slightly stronger than a lot of these characters for damage purely. But these also gives effects, like Aizen, the worst one out here, still gives 20% critical chance during the move. So it's still better, even though it's a lot weaker than Asta's assist. But yeah, here the assists are, you still can't get Endeavor, but in general, this is the assist tier list. You don't really use Roblox characters for assists, but they are better than nothing. In general, Saber and Rimuru will be around between Michiro and Tatsumaki. So Tatsumaki is a really good assist, and Michiro kinda. Boros and Odin not really much worth. It's not really useful because Saber and Rimuru will be better. Endeavor would be good, but you can't get him. But I don't think you really should buy a Robux character just for the assist. That's not going to be worth it. Here we have all the numbers for bad gear. Now, all of these characters, including Black Asta, the best raid character, are better than any of the permanent gem characters with bad gear. So it's still good. But like you can see, Odin is almost twice as good as Ryuko. And Odin is very good compared to the other characters when using very bad gear. Odin is the best, and that's right, like in my test, that's no doubt. And then we have good gear. Endeavor is really good here, Makima is really good here, Tatsumaki is good here, and as you can see, Odin is still really good. It's just not as good because his third ability and second ability don't really match in with Kurumi. You would understand if you had Odin and Kurumi pets. And then we have Ryuko, still the worst one. We also have my old test. Now I haven't tested them with Garo test and Garo pet in my new tests because, well, I don't have Celestial on them, and that's where I test with Garo. But my old test I did test with Garo pet, so Makima is the best here, Odin, and also on the gacha level tier here. And then we also have Odin. We have Yor, Boros, Tatsumaki, Ichigo Final, Kaido, Michiro. This is with Garapet, Ryuko, and Aizen is very bad. As good as like Asuna, which is an 800 gem character. We also have the dimensions. Now this is basically a difficult dimension, so if you're just getting to a new dimension, you have bad cards, you basically use very bad cards, very bad gear. This could be comparable to if you're just starting out. Yeah, this is basically it. Yor is really good, Ryuko is really bad just because of the damage. Now the assists, all of the assists are worse than the best raid character assists, but Endeavor and Tatsumaki are better than the best gem character assists. Everyone else I don't think you should use as assists. They're not really good, though they are better than any of the just non-effect assists, just the pure damaging ones, in my opinion. So even the worst assist, Aizen, would be better than Nezuko in my opinion, because the damage is just so insignificant. Then we also have some random info, and the reason why Makima is so good with Garopet, as you can see here, her energy gain is pretty good. Gojo is like one of the best characters in the game for energy gain, and yeah, Makima is close to him. And then we have Boros, not really good with energy gain, but he's still okay. And you can see just in general how much they benefit from using Garopet. Makima is really good with Garopet here. Michiro not that much, but it's just general information that you could maybe have some use for. So basically that's everything for this video. So in general, the best character for late game players, so for example, if I wanted to get as much damage as possible right now, I would use Makima. Makima 100%. Makima is the best character and better than a lot of gacha characters. Might be the third best character in the game. So that's why people say Makima is the best character out of the Roblox characters. But that's only if you have the best gear. You have Garopet, you have like Celestial. You don't need to have Celestial. She's still gonna be the best. But if you have Garupet, and Garupet, a lot of people don't have. So otherwise, I would buy Odin. Those are the two options I would give you to buy. Either you buy Makima if you want to go late game, and Makima is still good in Dimensions. She's still good without any gear, but Odin is like good all the time. Always good in Dimensions, always good in raids, just not the best when you're late game. He's like the second best. That's why I would probably, if you're a new player, I would recommend Odin. But if you're a bit to the better side, if you've played for like 100 hours plus or something, maybe you want to focus on Makima Control, because she is gonna be absolutely insane. Yor is also really good. Boros is also really good, no matter if you have a pet or not. They're both gonna be pretty good. Ichigo is pretty good for Dimensions. Muichiro and Tatsumaki are pretty good. Tatsumaki is really good with Kurumi pets. Muichiro pretty good, but not really. They don't really keep up. And then we have Aizen, the worst one out of them. Don't ever buy Aizen. Ryuko is not very good. She is comparable to a lot of gem characters, and she is 1000 Robux, not limited. You can always buy her. She's just not as good, so I would not recommend her. And if you do have Endeavor, he is really good. He's probably top 3 Robux characters among Odin and Makima. Those 3, Odin, Makima, and Endeavor, are the best 3 Robux characters. Endeavor is really good as well. But general, late game, Makima. Otherwise, if you're just starting out, buy Odin. Those are your 2 alternatives. But yeah, remember that I am making a giveaway on these characters. So if you win the 5000 Robux prize, you might even consider buying both Odin and Makima. And if you win one of them, then consider yourself, like, think about it. Get Odin or Makima. Don't get anyone else, because it won't be better than these 2. So yeah, that's basically all for this video, and hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.